don't even know where to start. But like Witty said, we basically got the Jason Stratham movie happening like right here in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. I mean, I'm just here thinking the whole time. Why this man name sound like some perverted children's like game?
Choksi.
Nobody else was
But
thinking
then
that?
you see somebody else is even saying that, this has been happening all the time, and it's just now being brought to us because of, the social media aspect and the access to information, which is true. This has been happening forever. But
what exactly has been happening?
These type of things.
These kind of things. All these little. But you see, had we not had this kind of access to information, we probably would have never known it was happening right next door.
Right next door, literally.
I just like this. I think this is. I think this in itself is a little outside of the norm. To be honest, I don't think this is something. So? Yes. Yeah. Yes, I do.
It is. I
believe this is something that's outside of the norm. Like
we have crazy things happen, but I think this is on a level on its own.
And the more he got into the details, the crazier the story got.
No,
when he hit me with the kidnapping,
because that was the question. How the man end up in Dominica? The man said he was kidnapped.
Kidnapped,
Yo, watch it. The whole this, and I've been following this for a few days now, right? Same. And I was there saying to myself, how is it? And that's why I asked the question just to confirm. When the guy officially landed in Dominica, that was Sunday, I realized all week the prime minister of Antigua. Well, we don't know where he is, but we have no record of him leaving, so most likely he's here. Now, my thing is, does that mean that the Dominican authorities did not alert Antigua that they had this man here?
Has to be, because how else would they not know?
Come on, you believe that? Yeah.
So you think he knew?
Look, this is the thing. This is the kind of thing that like conspiracy theorists love. Like the amount of conspiracies.
Yes, so the phone lines are literally lighting up.
Oh boy, let's see. Good morning, caller, live on Island T. Choksi got to Dominica.
Good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Hello. Yes. Good morning. You're live. Before you guys shift, because I know you all shift so fast.
You are on the boat. You are on the boat to Dominica.
If I'm on the boat to Dominica?
You're on the boat to Dominica with Choksi?
No, I'm in St Kitts, man.
Oh, okay.
Here's my question, and I think somebody mentioned it a while ago. How can you kidnap a person, take them to another country, and charge them for illegal entry? Something ain't right.
But that's
a very good question.
I think the argument would be that he wasn't kidnapped. Now, if that's the case, the police would have to then have to disclose how they knew he was either coming there, was there, where they found him, how they found him. Because as it stands now, his claim of the events makes things very, very iffy, boy.
Yeah, I'm not sending this one at all.
Bye.
Yeah, let me just leave, and if somebody's want to call, I find it crazy, boy.
Bye.
That's a big thing, You mean you're taken from a country and then being charged for entering the country that you would. Wow.
Yeah, well, again, guys, this is just his. I want to hear what and that's why the council said that they're probably going to recess until next week, so the police have a chance to prepare their statement.
Bruh, listen. Okay.
But and then also keep in mind that the council also said that there's things he's not allowed to speak about since the case is active. So facets of the case that we have to be left out.
Yeah, but Kevin, we have another caller. Caller, good morning, live on Island T. Last that one. Let's see if this one is here. Good morning, caller, live on Island T.
That's a wild turn of events. You were kidnapped, then charged with illegal entry. Nobody could find you for a week. Then you weren't allowed to see your counsel.
This is just one side of the story, but we have another caller. Caller, good morning, live on Island T. What? Hey, I sure that's in Choksi call him.
He trying to stop up the phone lines? Like he trying to...
This is like musical
maybe the
chairs.
uncle.
Musical chairs with phone
It
lines.
could be our uncle.
Bye.
Because this... You didn't know, sir?
Bye.
He was on the island, sir? So police didn't tell you?
Let's try this one more time. Caller, good morning. You're live on Island T.
Hey, good morning. How are you doing?
We're doing well, doing well.
Now,
Morning.
the question I have is, what about this due diligence that we're supposed to be having? Why we keep getting these high criminals? Have you asked yourself the question?
I think, well, this is my thing, right?
Okay.
When it comes to the background checks and stuff like that, the background checks, let's say you have not been charged or convicted of any crime prior to the application, then it wouldn't really show up.
Right.
All right then.
Remember the thing. The thing is with these background checks. Any background checks, we're not just talking about the investment program, but any background checks, things will only show up if you were caught doing them.
Right.
But if you are, a drug dealer, smuggler, whatever you want to call it, for the last 10 years and you've never been caught doing anything, your background check will come back clean.
As a matter of fact,
you're always innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, Kevin, one of the main issues, which is the accusation that him and his son, I think, stole a bunch of money from a bank in India.
Mm-hmm.
That only happened after he had already left the country and gotten his Antiguan citizenship. All this happened after he done.
Everything was like a cluster. It happened back to back to back. Because I was like, before this, I've never heard of.
Because remember the council told us he got his citizenship in 2017.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it is now being, 2021 is when all of this is sort of now unfolding. So
he actually left the country prior to any charges, anything, any of that.
That's interesting.
So
the plot thickens.
Yeah, and the thing is, we say so much of these and so much of these, but I mean, really and truly, I think the majority of the applicants for the citizenship by investment program have not been involved in.
And that's why when we hear stories like these, we're surprised. Not because it happens so often, because it doesn't. Or it wouldn't have had any effect on us at all. We would have just been like, oh, another one?
Yeah.
But that's not the case at all. Ooh.
Yeah.
So, Azim, what do you think going to happen?
What you think going to happen?
Yeah, give us a good story. Like, what do you think going to happen? How do you think this song going to end?
I think what's going to happen is the court case is going to be going on for at least the next 7 years. While the court case is going on, he'll be given some
7 years.
Some kind of leeway. So he'll end up coming out of jail and living a nice posh life until he passes away.
Yeah.
You think so?
Peacefully in Dominica.
Aww. such a happy ending.
Perhaps he might come to St Kitts just to see what's going on here. Here we managing the COVID. Here we managing the COVID virus good.
I think we full.
Wing on a space.
Oh boy. But we have some more callers. Caller, good morning, live on Island T. Hello, caller. Let's try this one. Caller, good morning, you're live on Island T.
Yes, good morning.
Well,
Didn't India donate a whole lot of vaccines to the region recently?
yes.
And
yeah.
didn't it go to Dominica and then was distributed from there?
Yes.
Yes. Do you think that's coincidence?
What's the link, yo? You think Dominica did that to try and influence the decision to extradite Mr. Choski?
I think that there's no such thing as a free lunch, eh? And I think that the Indian government, who really wanted him badly, just reminded the region, and I would not be surprised if Antigua doesn't know the Antiguan government, the Dominican government, and the Indian government are not in cahoots. right? And they know exactly what they were doing. India wanted these guys badly, and so just reminded those two countries of the assistance that India gave to them when they needed it. Okay, and that brings us back to one of the things we were discussing yesterday of journalism, the whole idea of journalism and transparency, accountability, and those sorts of things. Freedom of information. Okay, those things should be supplementary to the court system. Okay, I can't imagine any bona fide journalist not wanting to know exactly what happened here. And if we had freedom of information legislation and access, we would know, right? There are too many things that go on in our name that remain on the wraps. Okay, we should know about them. All right, it's all about openness in government. We're not a superpower who have all sorts of state secrets and deal in all kind of subterfuge and spy thriller stuff. You know, we don't need to do that. We're not a player in that scene, and so it's not good that this kind of subterfuge come to our back door. Well, front door, it would seem. Okay? So the whole thing sounds like a mess, and, you know, it's a result of giving people power and authority without accountability. That, I think, is what's at play here. All right.
All right, Carla, thanks. Yeah, I mean, if you really want the conspiracy theory side of my brain to start working.
Let's explore. I like this one. This is my. Let's go.
Today on conspiracy theory, Aros. Okay, so this is one theory, right? So, Mr. Choski would have become an Antiguan citizen, through the what do you call it? The citizenship by investment program,
yes,
right?
Mm-hmm.
And would have gotten his citizenship. Is now an Antiguan citizen, right? Since 2017, mm-hmm. Right? Would it look bad if Antigua were to give up one of its citizens to India? It probably might. People might look down on that.
The optics. Yeah,
it doesn't look good, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you don't want to come off as if you're not cooperative or you're not, you're not trying to do your best to work with India and their requests for extradition, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what if, while I'm simultaneously saying that, yes, we want to extradite him,
mm-hmm.
we don't actually extradite him, but have one of our neighboring countries extradite him for us? Well, that would be very important. What I found interesting was the point at which the Prime Minister of Antigua chimed in on the conversation earlier.
To let us know.
He didn't chime in on nothing else except to say the man has his Indian citizenship still. You understand? So what that means is that Dominica, if they give in to the extradition request,
mm-hmm.
would be able to extradite him back to his country, which would be India, not Antigua.
Mm-hmm.
You understand where I'm coming from?
I like how your brain works, you know.
So it almost makes sense to be like, look, we ain't want too much confusion. Let him go Dominica. Let Dominica sort it out. And it's a win-win for everybody except Choski.
Yeah, right. He's out.
Right.
He pissed off the wrong person because you're going to tell us that you were in a country, you were in your country, the country that you have citizenship to, and just on a random Sunday you were kidnapped and taken to another country.
When they take off the bag, you're in Dominica.
With police already waiting for you?
You're in Dominica, with high officers chilling on the beach waiting for you.
What is this?
And there's no so you've been kidnapped, put on a boat that drove itself to Dominica.
Nobody else but you on this boat, and you are kidnapped. Was it?
Well,
was
to be clear, to be legally clear, the council said that they didn't say nobody was on the boat, but they didn't disclose who else was on the boat.
But why wouldn't you? If this is a kidnapping case?
No. Hold on. They're not. Hold on. Remember, the police ain't saying this is a kidnapping case. Choski is saying this is a kidnapping case. The police ain't saying.
He's saying that he was kidnapped.
All they did was charge him on Thursday
when he reached there Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And the truth is, that's the only person that we know of has been charged. So he piloted the boat. I mean, he went on the boat by himself.
Told you was a Tesla boat.
Why is this with people from Antigua? It was
what?
The Antigua person, the boat that came in from Antigua was probably like a test run here.
Why all these boats escaping at Antigua?
Why all these boats escaping Antigua? That's probably like a test run to say, well, look, we have porous borders. People could leave. People could leave and we don't know. I just find it so interesting that he got there on Sunday and up until like Tuesday, Wednesday, like Gaston saying we're looking for him.
We just don't know where.
As far as we know, we don't have any record of him leaving.
Oh dear.
All the time he in custody in Dominica.
Interesting boy.
Chilling.
Like picture all over the place. Everybody talking about the situation. You can't tell me nobody in Dominica was like, hey, this ain't look like the fellow from Antigua.
Not only that, if you were picked up by police, the officers must know what's happening. They must know the situation. They must know that this man is missing in Antigua.
Look here, he was reported missing by his friend and chef.
I thought it was his wife.
No, I think his friend and his chef, the person who would have been dealing with him. Like, so that's the thing, From the time I recognized that he's like reported missing by somebody close to him, it was kind of like,
This Matson boy.
I could think it Matson in my head.
No, it Matson. It Matson, but just not for you.
The one that's being told is not Matson.
But no, that's the thing, Jade. The only story that's actually being told coming from him. Like the authorities, they say that,
Right.
But
so Jade, here's the thing: the math that we get in an equation for you to solve. It don't need to make sense for you. And the fact that it doesn't make sense to you means it's working.
Indeed. But guys, let's see if we have these callers on the line. Caller, good morning. You're live on LNT.
Hi, good morning.
Morning.
You ever heard of Interpol?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a situation years ago in St Kitts similar to that. Where they took a guy from St Kitts and took him to another country.
Mm-hmm.
So most likely the authorities needed him. They knew he whereabouts in Antigua. Went and picked him up from Antigua and carried him to a different country to move him. So now the police, them in high offices, they know what's going on, but they want to say.
Right.
That's what exactly happened. Interpol move him.
Yep. As a matter of fact, he might not have been. As a matter of fact, he might not have even been Antiguan police.
Yeah, because you remember council told us that he's also wanted by Interpol. So
how can people listen?
There's
Interpol would be
actually multiple
the agency.
I know, but it's just this man.
Because he's wanted by the Indian government. He's wanted by Interpol, which is an international police agency. So there's basically two people fighting to get this man based in multiple.
No, but you see, it's look, what you have to understand, right? It cannot be a coincidence, right? That the easiest way for this man to end up in India or anywhere else to answer for charges that have been brought against him, the easiest way for everybody in the situation is for him to not be in Antigua. And then he just ain't in Antigua.
Yep.
Problem solved.
Like, this is my question.
Because then to disappear out of the country, you're not legally a resident of. It's very easy.
Look, initially when the talk was he's in Cuba, I was like, okay, that makes sense. Because Cuba don't have extradition treaties with basically anybody.
Just grab and go. Grab and go.
Right, so you could literally go to Cuba and live your life.
When you're here, you here.
Live your life, you know what I mean? But when I said Dominica is like, okay, if he goes to Dominica, that means he just trying to extend the time based on the fact that Gaston basically was putting it out there. Yeah, we support the extradition. But from the time the man started to say, but I mean, I end up over here.
Was kidnapped.
From the time you realize, but he was there since Sunday, and nobody knew he was there. He wasn't allowed to talk to his counsel. He wasn't allowed to see the doctor. Like, basically, nobody knew that the man was there except apparently a few high-ranking officers.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. He's still in Dominica.
Listen.
Right? I'm actually surprised, to be completely honest. I would have expected him to go missing before his arrival in Dominica was announced. So now that it's sort of public knowledge that he's in Dominica, it kind of makes things a little bit harder for whoever's trying to move him around, but that might be a good thing for him or not. We'll see. But it's break
maybe
time.
a little harder for well, I don't think so. I think it's at least for Antigua, the Prime Minister and the CBI program. It's probably the best thing that in Antigua. So in other words, the people who seem to be winning right now is Antigua.
Christ.
Let's go for a fabric.
I don't know. Luckily, St Kitts in it, so.